Welcome to the stream, guys. Okay. So basically the plan today is to actually work on Proxmox and deploy Hermes agent on Proxmox. So let's actually get right into it. Just gonna make sure my audio is okay. Yeah, not bad. Okay, it's a little muffled though. Get that volume up. Yeah, definitely muffled. But I guess it's the mic, so it's okay. All right. So I've actually got a computer running Proxmox. Let's say now I'm gonna this. I'm going to start fresh, right? I do have I believe there's an LXC container. So I do have this LXC container, but I'm going to start fresh. I'm going to actually go ahead and remove this LXC container completely. And we're going to start from fresh, right? So let's go ahead and remove. Purge. Cool. Okay. So I will start from fresh. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Okay, so essentially, we're going to start with this LXC container. So I'm going to create a CT. I'm going to call it, let's just call it workflow. Give it a password. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to go next. So essentially, what we're going to do, I've got Proxmox running on a mini PC, right? So basically, um, now now that Proxmox is running on this mini PC, I'm going to actually create an LXC container, and then I'm going to install Hermes on that LXC container. That's the plan so far. And then we're going to go ahead and install Postis and a few other things, but let's do this first. So I'm actually going to select the Ubuntu 22.04 image, and I'm going to go next. Storage, I'm going to actually give it 400 GB, which is fine for now. CPU, let's give it 4 cores, maximum of 4 cores. RAM, I want to give it about 14 GB RAM. So if I say 14 GB to MB, Proxmox, it'll tell me exactly. Yeah, so let's give it this number right here. And we'll have IPv4 as DHCP. We'll start the container once it's created. So this is basically the summary. We're giving it 4 cores, and we're giving it 14 gigs of RAM and 400 GB of storage space. And the reason I'm giving it 400 GB of storage space is because the agent may end up creating images, maybe some videos as well. And so I wanted to make sure that if it does create these videos, it has somewhere to store them, right? So that's sort of the idea of giving it that sort of RAM. Finish. Okay, great. So now it should be starting up. Have a look. Excellent. So it has started up. I believe the login. Ooh, we actually select login maybe root. Yep. So the login is root and the password is whatever password we actually told it to set. Right? So that's good. Now, the first thing I'm actually going to do, because this is a brand new container, I'm going to update and upgrade it. So we're going to go sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade -y. Let's actually go ahead and update the container first. Now I believe this is going to move pretty quick because it's a pretty decent size container, right? It's not small, so this should actually be pretty quick. Now while that's updating, let's actually go to Hermes. Look at this. So what we want to do, we want to install Hermes, but we want to use Linux. So really, it's pretty simple. I'm just going to copy this command. And I'm going to install Hermes. But I also want to take a look because Hermes in Docker. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, we can run Hermes in Docker. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to run Hermes like a standard installation and then let Hermes manage all my Docker containers, right? So I think that's the path I'm going to take right now. And then I'm going to see if there's a better way to do this. But for now, I think let's just go ahead and install Hermes as a standard installation. So, yep, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to just paste that command. Okay, curl command not found. Because this is LXC, it doesn't have everything, right? So let's just go ahead and try that. Cool. Okay, so that's done. Now let's go ahead and try that command again. Now, in all honesty, I am using the Proxmox kind of window. I actually should have done an SSH into it, so I'll probably end up doing that. Let this installation take place, and I'll go ahead and do that, right? So let's see. This could take some time. Go here, up there. So yeah, I'm going live on Discord, I'm live on YouTube, and I'm live on Twitch all at the same time. That's the beauty of live streaming, to be really honest. It may ask us to connect Hermes to my phone, Telegram. I may do it, I may not. Let's see. Rather quick setup. I think this is the right way. Copy that. Yes, this is the thing. So I remember there was a different way how to actually do this without needing to go ahead and subscribe to that. I'm actually gonna try it that way, right? I'm gonna skip. So now if we go and type in Hermes model, maybe not. So Hermes setup. Yeah, I think this is where we do this. So if I'm gonna use OpenAI, OpenAI API, and then I'll have to pop in an API over here. So give me a minute, guys. I'll go ahead and pop in that API. Okay, so I've entered my API key, and I'm gonna actually select which model, and I think I'm gonna go with the nano model, right? Which is keep current local settings, yes. Um, I don't want to. All right, let's configure Telegram. Okay, so let's say, yeah, let's do it the first way, right? So I'm gonna just get this QR code. Obviously, I don't want to scan, don't want to display it here. Let me see now how this is going on Proxmox. Ah, okay. So instead of that, okay, that is not good. Let's go back to Hermes setup. Fine. You want to keep. Okay, so tools for CLI. Go ahead and check this. We'll keep the Microsoft Edge. Okay, so we are connected now. I just want to see if this actually works on Telegram as well. So testing. Okay, so Telegram's not working right at the moment. I'll need to fix that. But the main thing is I want to see, are you there? And I think the agent is actually working. So let's now connect to this via SSH. Interesting. I'm not really getting much of a response here. Okay, excellent. So Hermes is there. Now I'm gonna actually connect to this via SSH, so it's a bigger window, right? Got my IP address. Ah, okay. Maybe we didn't give it an actual login name. Mm, maybe it's admin. Not sure. Oops, okay, we don't know what the login is. I think I'm actually going to start from fresh again because we don't know what the login is. Great. Let's do that again. Go ahead and stop container. Yes. Yeah, I think I wasn't very careful and I think I messed up the login. So let's just go ahead and remove. Let's give the host a name. Let's call it workflow. That's the host name. So that should be the login as well. Okay. Now I'm not sure if I should change the swap file. Maybe I'll leave the swap file 512. I'm not entirely sure, but let's just leave it there. Not entirely sure. Let's find out actually. I'll be deleting that API key anyway, guys, so it doesn't really matter. Default swap is 512 MB. Should I leave it at this if my main memory is 14 GB? I think I could just leave it at 512. I'm not sure. Yeah, I thought it was be too small. To 4 GB. Okay, so let's do 4 GB, yeah? So So let's just do 4096. Swap file 4096. The swap file, just 4 GB is fine. So now this is logged in. Let's check. Check the IP address and see if we can SSH into it. So now we can reach it. What would the login be? Interesting. So it says default username would be root. What I thought it would be. Interesting, that doesn't actually work. Maybe it's not allowed. Um, let's do one thing. Let's try this. Login as root. Let's just do the update and the upgrade real quick. I don't think SSH is automatically allowed. Maybe I should have allowed it. I think we'll try once again. Was there an option to allow SSH while we were setting up? I think there was, and I don't think I checkmarked it. I think we'll try it again. Let's try that again. Let's try that once more. Right, I'm going to stop this. And we're going to go ahead and think there was an option to allow for SSH. I did not enable that. Okay. No, just checking. Shouldn't it be the host name? Usernames identifies who. Okay, so look, let's just go next. Let that one. Yeah, I don't think there is. Hey, disk size 100 GB. CPUs, we're gonna give it 4 cores. 4 is a limit. WAP 4096. B as a swap. Yeah, so I don't. There is no. That's kind of weird because root did not actually work. There was no option. I didn't see an option to enable SSH. Interesting. So obviously I've just given it password. So let's just try once again. Should be a way. Otherwise I'll have to manually enable SSH onto the box. How do I check on Ubuntu if SSH is enabled? Let's just check that first, right? So SSH is enabled. How do I check the SSH username? Try this. So it's root. That is the SSH username is root. Oh, weird. Let's try again. Let's read. Nope. Different IP now. Kind of strange how that's not working. The root, even though it is the SSH, working. Very, very Doesn't allow me to SSH into it. So maybe I need to add user then because it's not actually allowing me. So let's try and do that then, I guess. But I remember it did actually allow me to do that before. So I don't know what's happened here. Oops, sorry. Right, so I'll need to do it now. Give it a password. Yeah, mm, that was a mistake. Let's add user. And let's just say user is called workflow. Right now. Oh, okay. So maybe I need to grant privileges. Let's permit root login. I don't know why root login did not work. Anyhow, let's try now again. So odd. Oh, still not allowed. Sorry. Oops. Still doesn't let me H. Why it's doing this? it should actually allow me log in while it doesn't. God. Try something. It still does not let me log in via PuTTY. Uh, Not letting me log in. Let me see if I can ping the IP, but I should be able to because I'm connected to it. Go here. Really odd why this thing will not let me log in. Let's try root. And I don't have access. Okay, maybe I am being really silly and I need to MediaTek. This is really, really odd. All right, I'll need to research a bit on this. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and take a break, and I'll be back. Okay, so I managed to actually get root access, and the interesting concept is that Proxmox, even though SSH is active, it still blocks root access. So I had to enable that. So what I actually did was I went ahead and ran this command, permit root access. Let's just make this really large so you can all work with it. Okay. Now let's try again. Let's install Hermes agent. So now we're installing Hermes agent again. Let's give this a try. Now while that's actually doing all that, to go to Telegram and see if I can move those channels that I Okay, so we're gonna do the second one, full setup. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and select open router, open API, sorry. Okay. Let me find the API and paste it in. I'm gonna delete the previous API. Boom. Got an API over here. Paste the API key. Let us try Telegram once again. All right, so these are basically the chat platforms. You don't want to do. So that's fine. Now, what I'm thinking of doing, let's just go and type in Hermes. Okay, so we're connected to Hermes. Um, now what we want to do is I want to use Hermes, but I wouldn't mind. Yeah, okay, so I want to use Hermes and I want to install, I want to see if Hermes can actually install posters. So let me actually show you what is posters, right? So posters. is Posters is like an all-in-one social media app, and I want to see if Hermes can actually install Posters, right? So, but before that, let's for this live stream, let's actually see if I could get Hermes web Hermes UI installed. Web UI. Let me see, how do we actually install Hermes web UI? Bring that up over here. So what we're going to try and do is install the Hermes web UI. See. Already done that. Version. Agent. Fine. All right, so let's actually go ahead and install Hermes web UI so it'll be a little bit easier to use, right? Let's just go ahead and do that. Got all our dependencies. Here we do. I'm going to move this over here. Okay. And so now we've got both windows. So go ahead and git clone Hermes UI. Okay, we've done that. Now we can cd into the Hermes web UI. So we're in there now. We'll go ahead and run Python 3 bootstrap because this initializes the bootstrap script. All right, so let's do this first. What's going on? See what's going on. Let's remove that again. Right, so now we're going to try again. I'm going to do a clear, paste that. Okay, issues, issues, issues. Check what's going on here. Okay. Yeah. You'll have to run an ls just to trace the path, yeah? Not as simple as we thought it would be. Okay, try again. This should be correct. Okay, here we go. We officially have ruined the entire installation. Well, anyway, that's fine. Look, let's just try. Let's just see if Hermes can do it from the command line. We'll work with the UI in a bit. Right, so what we want to do is I want to go I want to go I first want to git clone the Docker compose, right? So let's just go No, not Hermes. We want to go posters, Docker compose. So let's say we want to do a git clone and this one. Okay, so we have Hermes Web UI, which I'm going to delete, but I've got the posters Docker compose, right? So let's say now I want to copy that and we want to go to Hermes. I want to go cd okay, you're in there. All right, so now I'm just going to tell Hermes. But before I do that, I'm going to go back out. I'm going to install Docker. Sorry, I've been on the other screen. So I went out and I'm going to go ahead and install Docker because Docker is not installed as yet. Install Docker and on Ubuntu, let's go ahead and install Docker. So we'll go ahead and first check. Perfect. So Docker is not installed. Here. And go ahead and install Docker. Now the final command to install and I've installed Docker. Check real quick. Okay. Now let's just check if Docker is running. Docker is running. Okay, that's good. Clear. Now let's type Hermes. I want to go back to we want to cd back in here again. Let's see, of course, I mean, posters can be deployed on its own, but I want to see how good Hermes can actually deploy posters in Docker, right? So I'm going to ask Hermes to cd into posters. Okay, now I'm gonna say back here. Reference post this just okay. So the thing is that we need Hermes to. We actually need to configure the Docker Compose, but I'm going to say I'm going to just ask Hermes to deploy. I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to say deploy the production Docker Compose, deploy posters. I'm just going to say deploy the posters Docker Compose. What kind of actually? I haven't been able to find this configuration file. This is the weirdest thing. Like it says Docker Compose configuration. Okay. Ah, let's see. I should have actually said, oh, wrong screen, guys. Sorry. I should have actually said configure and deploy Docker Compose. But anyway, let's see what it actually. Let's see if it does configure it. It kind of looked like it did configure the JWT secret. Let's see. And I think it's having a hard time because it shouldn't take so long, frankly speaking. So here we are trying to ask Hermes to deploy a Docker container, and it's taking a while. I don't think it's going to be successful, honestly speaking. But yeah, we'll see. So what's the issue that why what's the issue that's occurring? Let me just see. It shouldn't be so complicated. It's a simple command. Unless unless it's trying to configure the file. I'm going to give it a little bit longer. Otherwise, I'm going to try and change the prompt that I gave it. Okay, yep. So Docker compose up dash D, which is good. Uh, Took a while for that, but I don't know what it actually did. Let's see. And we'll check how many tokens was used as well for this process. I mean, of course, deploying Postis on your own shouldn't be that hard. But I just thought that why don't we try using Hermes agent to see how well it could do a Docker deployment? Should be okay. I bet Claude Code could do this better. But of course, you need a Claude Code subscription, which I will probably be getting today, anyways. Couldn't actually post, but at the same time, post is using Hermes. So I want to see how well, if it fails, private Claude. Okay, so we're gonna allow for this session. Okay, so it says that it's healthy. I think that guy who messaged you is just a hater, man. I wouldn't worry about. Okay, so back to this one right here. It looks like okay. So now the thing is that Postis is deployed on localhost 4007. However, this is when I access it, I'm obviously not going to access localhost 4007 because this is a LXC container running on Proxmox on a different machine, and I'm accessing it from a different machine. So I will obviously access local IP dot at 4007. So I'm going to do that, and sometimes it should work, but sometimes in the environment file, you need to specify that local IP, not localhost. So let's see if that actually works. Otherwise, we'll try something else. So um, let's go back here. And what is the IP? I don't remember. 177, I think. Let's try. So we go 192.168.8.177 at port 4007, and it does work. Okay, so Hermes has successfully deployed it. But now the problem is, I know with this post is you cannot simply just continue with Google. It will not work. You need to get the credentials, which Hermes I don't think actually did. So let's just try. No, see, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. And okay, so let's go back to Hermes. Say, what was the, what were the hostess authentication credentials use that you set up for me to be able to log in into too long. What were the posters authentication credentials you have set up? What are, not were. So it may not have even created any authentication credentials, which is probably the case. So now I'm obviously then hopefully Hermes will just ask me and I'll just give it the credentials I want to use. Right? So let's see. Yep, that's what I thought. Default is admin. Right now, Posters does not have any pre-configured. In your Docker Compose YAML, disable. There are no environment variables set for admin user. Okay, that's fine. The credentials you can use are whatever account you create via the app registration. Okay, let us try this. Let us try just creating something like I'm going to just put my email and password. I'm just going to give it company. I'm going to go media tech. Let's see if it actually works. Yep. That's what I thought. So I got an error when I tried to register self. And you know what? I've had this error before with Posters. I don't know why it does that. So it's checking the logs I can see, checking the Docker logs because yeah, Posters is running on Docker. So let's see. I mean, what happens? I mean, otherwise I'll just go ahead and do it myself. I know it's a pain because I've had this situation before, but hey, we'll try it. Otherwise, I have one more idea. I will actually ask it to do it in the environment file. Maybe the environment file I can put the registration. So where are you opening Posters from? And it's very, very smart because that's exactly what the issue is that if you're trying to open it from the same machine, oh, sorry guys, I'm on the wrong screen. Apologies. Yeah, so if you're trying to open it from the same machine and from a different machine, this makes a big difference to Posters. So because a lot of people actually install it on the same machine that they're using, it just makes it easy and it just works. But because of this, Hermes needs, okay, so what exact base URL do you use to open Posters in your browser? Example, yeah, okay, so base URL, but I'm probably just wasting a whole bunch of tokens right now, just doing it this way, but let's just see. We just want to play, right? So let's just see what happens. main URL, front end. Okay, yep. So now see, now exactly. So now he's changing the main URL. Very smart. Because the main URL originally was localhost 4007. Now we're changing the main URL to the local IP. And just FYI, this is um, using Hermes with OpenAI model. Yeah, so I would think I would prefer using Claude, but I'm just trying with this because I have some free credits, to be honest. It's taking way too long for something like this. Maybe I'm using the wrong model. No idea. Okay. Yep. This was the during. Yep. Because so in your Docker Compose, it was set to localhost, correct? Main front. Okay. Since your opening post is from another machine, the browser's localhost points to your. Okay. Yep. I fixed it for you by updating the root post's Docker Compose. Use your server IP, main IP. Okay, perfect. Then I recreated the stack, Docker Compose up. Oh, okay, excellent. So it's recreated. So it put it down, recreated it. Now verification. Next steps. Please try registering again in your browser. All right, let's try again. So we're gonna refresh. Okay, so now maybe I can sign in. I don't know. Nope, doesn't work. Okay, let's see what this does. I'll be right back. Okay, so okay, let's take a look at this now. Um, email sender information not found in the environment variable. Hmm. Let's try this. I think we'll just use auth. Let's see. I mean, I've asked it to set up the auth rather than using email and password. So let's see. I think it would be Google. Oh, I see. Okay. I shouldn't have selected auth. I should have gone with the recommended. But anyhow, let's see what happens. Hmm. Okay. I'm going to see how good Hermes is. I'm going to change my mind. I am going to change my mind and use option 1, email password for logging in. Excellent. I think it's doing a good job. So if this works, honestly, I'm going to be asking it to deploy a few different Docker containers. Things that I can't really do on my own, or maybe I don't want to do them on my own, but we'll see. Hey, thanks for joining, by the way, and thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. Let's just check and see what's going on here. Hey, thanks for jumping in. So I'm actually building. So what I've actually done is I've gone ahead and deployed Hermes, which is an AI agent on a just a Linux, PC basically. And now I'm building Posters. So Posters is a software that allows me to schedule social media content on multiple platforms. So right now, I mean, I could have deployed it myself because Posters is just a Docker container, but I wanted to see how well Hermes could actually deploy that. So essentially, right now, Hermes has already deployed it, by the way. So it managed to deploy it, but now I'm having a few issues with logging into it. So Hermes is trying to get that going for me. So that's really what's happening. Hopefully, you guys can still hear me. Yep, there we go. Perfect. So I kind of gave Hermes a bit of a curveball because I asked her to do something first and then I changed my mind. But let's see how well it actually manages to do this. And I think I'm just wasting tokens by doing this. But anyway, it's okay. It's a test. Okay. So email password login is supported in this posters build, and the backend expects the auth provider to be local, not email. I verified it end to end. Okay. Okay. Let's try. So I'm actually going to try logging in now. So as you can see, it has actually deployed posters. Let's try to. Okay. So let's go to sign up again. Email already exists. So it does exist. So that means let me go to sign in. No thanks. Okay. Okay. So let me see if it can fix it. Is there something that you build or something that you like building? So good news, in the database, the account is present and it's marked as activated. So if your login reloads back to the login page, the most common cause are wrong password. Posters backend returns invalid username or password. Yeah, I think it's a cookie issue. Hmm. Yeah. I knew this was going to be the case. The problem is that we're using HTTP. It's not secure, and that's really the problem over here. All right, so let's try this. Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do instead of this I'm just gonna basically connect it to Cloudflare. Okay, so we're gonna actually. All right, so we're gonna actually connect this to Cloudflare. Let's do that. I'm actually gonna open up Cloudflare on a different window. I do have a previous URL that I created for this. But second. Yeah, Cloudflare has changed as user interface. As you can see, there you go. Vector. That's what for posted. So what we can do now is go. So we just want to edit this, change this to save that. Go back to you. Add a connector. Docker. Copy that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new session. I'm going to 8.117, sorry, 177, open, login as root. Change settings, appearance, let's go scene. It's big enough for us to So we're just going to go ls. So what we're going to do is right now, if I go sudo docker ps-a, we can see that Postis is running and yeah, Postis is running. Okay. So the best thing to do over here is we're going to go sudo and we're going to paste that, but we're going to docker run -d -d, and we're going to do restart always. Okay, so now that this container is running, if I go to sudo docker ps-a, okay, so that container is running. Now, clear again, we want to go to, so now basically what we want to do is we want to change the, yeah, so we want to go to this URL. Okay, sorry. Search file or directory. Okay, wait, sorry. ls. We want to go to Postis. ls. We want to go to sudo nano docker compose YAML. Okay. And now we want to, just before we do that, let's check our connectors. The Postis is up, so we know it is up. What is the URL? Postis.amarmash.com. Okay. So we go back here. Change the S postis.amarmash.com. Next public backend. Okay. So just want to update these, right? So I've updated the main URL, updating front end URL and the public URL. So basically exactly what is said over here is what I'm doing here. So I've updated those. And yeah, I just showed you my entire secret, but that's fine. And then we'll just go, because we're going to destroy this anyway, but we're just going to go this one. We're going to force a recreate. We're going to basically say recreate. So while that's waiting, I'll put in a prompt. Okay, I have connected my server to Cloudflare to a Cloudflare tunnel using Docker, using the Docker connector, Cloudflare. I have the domain I'm using is hostess.mash.com. I have added this domain, the Cloudflare tunnel is healthy, and I have added this domain to the hostess docker compose .yml. In the for the main, well, for the three URLs to the requested. Okay, so we're just keeping that prompt ready, and we're going to, sorry, oops, we're going to try and just do another login. So now, rather than this, we're going to try and just go posters. So as you can see, now I have managed to log in just using a HTTPS URL, and now I'm going to try the login again. Oh, great, this, we have to try sign. Okay, so that has now worked. So now I'm just letting AI know, really. I shouldn't really have to do that, but I'm just doing it anyway. Let's see what it says. It'll just check it. So yeah, so basically this was a test. I can confirm the server side has the Cloudflare HTTPS set up. This is now all connected, wired up. That's fine. So basically, using using Hermes, I have managed to deploy posters and also log in, obviously with a bit of tweaking myself, but that's okay. But we've managed to do this. Now we are logged into posters, which is a really good exercise, and now in posters, integrations, integrations, calendar, agent, analytics, media. So you go to calendar now, add a channel, and let's see if I can do something simple. Oh, I think there's no Twitch. Let's try LinkedIn. You need a pass. You need to pass the client ID and parameter. Okay, yeah. So essentially, that needs to be done. This parameters need to be done in the environment variables. So if we go back here, and if we go here, I think there. Sorry, I'm not showing you the screen. Yeah, so I've actually just what I did was I just did a sudo nano docker compose, and if I go down, this is really where I add all my API keys and all my settings for the social media connections. And once I do that, they should show up in my in posters really over here. But yeah, that's really it. So now I can start adding these social media connections down. Cool. So that's really it. Oh, sorry, I didn't see your message. Is Hermes configuring posters or modifying code? I'm unfamiliar with posters. So to answer your question, my bad. Hermes was actually so I used Hermes to deploy posters using the Docker Compose version of Hostess, and then I used Hermes to yeah. So Hermes sorted out the authentication, but I didn't really need to do that because all I did was then I went to Cloudflare, I created a Cloudflare tunnel, and I connected my server to Cloudflare. And then that's really it. And once I did that, I managed to log in to Postis, and now I need to actually add my credentials. So I will actually use Hermes to add credentials into it. Let's see, but I mean, I could do that myself in Docker Compose. That's not really, but that's really what Hermes was doing. You know, yeah, it wasn't modifying any code. Yeah, just using it as an agent. That's really it for now. I am going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break, get some lunch, and I'll be back soon again. Yep, so thanks for watching. And if you are interested in more of these videos, just put in a comment and I'll be creating more of these type of videos. So thanks heaps. I'll chat with you all soon. I'll be back on again after lunch, guys. Cheers.